remote ones are particularly vulnerable to the spread of COVID-19, given existing challenges around medical facilities, things like overcrowding and other socioeconomic realities. That's why from the beginning, we have made specific investments to support Indigenous communities as the country grapples with this pandemic. Right across the country, as certain regions are reopening, there is a recognition that other regions are going to need continued adjustments and continued protections, and we will ensure that we continue to work all together on protecting Indigenous communities who are indeed more vulnerable, even as other parts of the economy are looking at opening up.
Follow-up, Jamie?
Yeah, okay, so they've been doing pretty well so far, but like I said, they're 2 weeks behind the curve. So with provinces opening up, what would you suggest that they do?
I think we need to make sure we're keeping extremely vigilant and preventing outside cases from entering those communities. We've seen, for example, Nunavut be very successful, not just remaining 2 weeks behind the curve, but months behind the curve as they continue to have no cases because of very strong travel restrictions that were brought in immediately and have served to keep the vulnerable and remote communities in our far north completely COVID-free. But right across the country, various communities will take appropriate measures, and we will be there as a government and other orders of government as well to support them in doing the things that need to be done to keep elders and all in those communities safe.
Thank you. Next question, operator.
Thank you. Merci. Prochaine question, Michel Lamarche, TVA Nouvelle. À vous.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau. J'aimerais savoir, devant le fait que vous considérez prolonger la subvention salariale, est-ce que vous pensez faire la même chose avec la prestation canadienne d'urgence?
La prestation canadienne d'urgence déjà continue pour plus longtemps que la subvention salariale. Et nous reconnaissons aussi que au fur et à mesure que dans les semaines et les mois à venir, l'économie commence à reprendre un peu de souffle, moins de gens vont avoir besoin de la prestation d'urgence parce qu'ils vont retourner vers le travail et probablement que plus de gens vont choisir de prendre la subvention salariale. C'est pour ça qu'on annonce aujourd'hui qu'on va prolonger l'impact et l'utilisation de la subvention salariale. Nous allons continuer de s'ajuster au fur et à mesure que la situation évolue. Depuis le début de cette situation, on a été là pour ajuster le tir et pour améliorer notre approche pour pouvoir aider le plus de gens possible, étant donné les situations du moment. From the beginning, we recognized that we needed to constantly adjust and improve the delivery of these unprecedented mechanisms to support Canadians who are suffering through this particular crisis. That's why we recognize that there are many different things we need to do as the economy starts to reopen. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit had always been planned to last longer or had a timeline that was already longer than the wage subsidy. But we recognize that as the economy starts to reopen, people will be getting back to work, leaving the emergency response benefit and perhaps going on to the wage subsidy as employers bring people back on and get them back to work as our economy picks up over the coming weeks and months. That's why we will constantly be adjusting to make sure that Canadians are getting the support they need as we look to carefully and gradually restarting our economy.
Une suivi, Michel?
Bien sûr, j'aimerais justement savoir, cette subvention salariale, combien de temps, à votre avis, il faudra la prolonger? Et est-ce que devant la réouverture de l'économie, il y a des craintes de votre part? Sentez-vous qu'on pourrait rater cette relance parce qu'on